We got a lot to discuss. Jayson Tatum agreeing to a 5-year max extension that's worth $195 million if Tatum makes All-NBA this season. Now, this is all based on the projected cap. The deal was expected, but considering how Boston has lost some big free agents recently, Jackie, what does this extension signal to Celtics fans coupled with Gordon Hayward's departure?
Well, I can tell you it's been a very rugged few days for Celtics fans, and I think what this signals, Rachel, is there was a little buzz after Gordon Hayward left and the Celtics got nothing. Remember now, the third player in the last 2 seasons to walk. Kyrie Irving before him and Al Horford before him as well. And I think there was some buzz around the league. Do people not want to play in Boston? I think Jayson Tatum is saying, you pay me the max? I'll be very happy to play here, and I'll be your cornerstone. And so there's a sigh of relief here in Boston because he's the most important player. This was a no-brainer for the Celtics to try to get this done.
Yeah, big picture, the story of the Celtics season was Jayson Tatum emerging as a legitimate All-NBA level superstar. What this contract signals is, here you go. This is what you get paid if you're a legitimate All-NBA level superstar. And to Jackie's point, it's a reminder that, boy, that trade with Brooklyn, talk about a trade that changed the landscape of the NBA and still ripples to this day, because Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown are in Boston because of that trade, and they're really the only constants. Al Horford's gone, Gordon Hayward's gone, Kyrie Irving's gone, Isaiah Thomas is gone. Those two are the franchise now, and as long as they're there, Boston is going to be relevant and really good in the East. But boy, without that Brooklyn trade, it's hard to imagine where they'd be.
Exactly.
Well, listen, I understand people had concerns, but I didn't, and here's why. Without those guys leaving, Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving, Al Horford, we wouldn't have got a chance to see the full potential of Jayson Tatum. They were just in this way, and then all of a sudden he took off. He took off towards the last part of the season, right around the All-Star break, and he started to reach superstar status. And now, guess what happened? Everybody's moving. Gordon Hayward left. They got money on the table. Danny Ainge and Wick Grossbeck and Steve Pagliuca, that's what they did. Time to back up the Brinks truck, and they paid this man. This is the new Paul Pierce of the Celtics, right? He's going to be the franchise guy for the next 10 years. The Boston fans should be happy. They have a pure stud in Jayson Tatum, well-deserved, and I feel very comfortable with him leading the franchise.
Well, if Jayson Tatum can get his number hung in Boston Garden, win a Finals MVP, and do everything else that Paul did for the Celtics, it will certainly be a good career for him. And Jackie, my instinct is that, hey, Kyrie, Al Horford, Gordon Hayward, each of those players had pretty specific situations, extenuating circumstances, things around them. But is there any concern about the Celtics franchise losing these guys for nothing, or do you just look at them individually and say, hey, I get it in each situation?
Well, your point's a good one, Rachel. I mean, Kyrie, who can ever explain what's going on in Kyrie's head? And Al Horford left for a situation that he thought was going to help him closer to a championship. Of course, that turned out not to be true at all, and it all imploded. Gordon Hayward, I understand why he did this. He wanted to spread his wings. You know, he had these catastrophic injuries that were all freak injuries. I do not consider him injury prone, and I know that seems like a crazy thing to say. But by the time he did get back and got a chance to be healthy, these other guys have passed him. And so if he wants to be an all-star again, it's not going to happen in Boston. So maybe it can happen for him in Charlotte. But if you're the Boston Celtics and you're a fan of the Boston Celtics, it still pretty much stings when guys are leaving. If you're going to build a foundation of a great franchise, you don't want people walking out the door, and that's what's happening.
Well, it will be interesting to see as they go forward. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.